Okay, so today we're going to paint the logos, and I'm going to go over some of the techniques we use when you're using the Graco painter to paint in different logos and shapes. So first off, we have our gun, and the key to using the gun is figuring out how far away you need to be, figuring out the type of spraying you want to do so that you can get your lines perfect. Now for me, when I'm painting a logo, first thing I want to do is I want to paint the outline first, and then I'm going to fill in the middle. So when I'm going, the way to get to the outline, you don't want to just start right on the edge. You kind of want to work from the middle to get to where your edge is on your nozzle, and then you can work out from there. If you just go right on the edge, chances are you're going to spray out in the spot you don't want to get painted. So when you're doing an edge, you can get right up to it. You want to keep the painter right off your hip. You go in the middle, and spray out to the edge and over. Do the same thing on the other side. Do that the whole way around. Figure out where your edge is going to be. Luckily we have this TC already painted, so we can already go off what we already have. But when we don't have anything painted yet, we're going to use a stencil to get ready. Same thing when we get to corners. Now when you get to a sharp point, whatever side you want to use on your nozzle, stay there, and then you just pivot your arm around where you want to go. So like when I get down here to this corner, I'm going to go sideways like I'm doing the edge, and then I'll just turn right to where that corner is going to be. Same with this side. I'll come, I'll find my edge of the logo, and I'll work my way right down the corner. Now what we don't want is we don't want people reaching. We want you to have a nice even line the whole way across. So what that means is you got to move your body with your painter. We don't want you reaching out like this. So what we don't want is something like that. That makes a wider line, it's not as concentrated, and you'll tend to get spray in places you don't want. So when you're going, especially on a curve, start where you feel comfortable, and you don't have to go with big strokes. You can go with nice small strokes. Your line, and you hold it where you want to be, and you just turn your body with your painter as you're going. And it'll give you a nice straight line the whole way around. Now, once you have your outside edges filled in, you can just fill in the middle. Again, you don't want really long strokes. You want nice, medium-sized strokes that are going to be the same width and the same consistency the whole way. Alright, another thing you want to do when we're painting logos, we want to paint from the farthest away from our painter. Start as far away as you can and work this way, so we're not really walking through any of the paint that we've already done. Now, one nice thing is about doing it that way is you can pretty much get right up into the paint where you're going. You're not standing back here and reaching all the way out. You can just be right up on where you want to paint, because there's nothing behind you. Alright, so the next part about painting our logos is sometimes you have a nice long straight edge, and a good way to keep it straight, much like when you're doing carpentry, use a nice straight piece of wood to be a border so you can make sure you get that nice crisp clean edge. I've already got it lined up with where we are. We've got it all the way into where we've already painted, so we know we're going to where we want to be. And we got it down halfway down there. Our board's not long enough, so we're going to have to do it in two parts. So you see, as I paint, I don't really have to worry as much about being right on it. The board will keep the paint from going where it's not supposed to. So when you've done your first half, we'll take the board, clean it off, we'll move it down, and then we'll flip to the other side. T and the C meet. So I'm going to go over and out to the board first, and then I'll finish it off. Same with on the bottom side. Now you got one side done, you'll just flip and do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so now that you've got your whole outline done, you can go ahead and fill in the rest. Usually when you're painting, you'll have somebody hold this hose up here, just so that it's not dragging through the stuff that you've already painted, because it doesn't dry instantly. So the key to painting in the middle is you got to get up in there. You don't be afraid to step inside where you've already painted on your outlines. You got plenty of room with your feet so that you're not actually stepping in paint. The key is, again, we don't want to reach. We want to be nice and level with our body and have nice even strokes down the whole thing, so you don't have different thicknesses and brightnesses of paint. So again, we're just going to keep going back and forth. Start on the farthest spot away from us and just work towards us. I like to go with like a half and half overlap, just so we're making sure we're getting both sides of the blade. Get nice short strokes, moving your body as you're moving the painter. We don't want anybody out here reaching. We want just nice short stroke. You can be up in there. The last thing we want is someone way out here trying to reach really far. We don't want that. It's nice right in here. Take a nice broad look over the whole thing, make sure there aren't any areas that seem lighter. For me, maybe the spot up here that I can go over again on both sides. And that. Turn up, make sure when you're done, turn off the painter. So you're not accidentally spraying when you're not supposed to, and then you're done. That's how you use the Graco.
A couple habits to try and avoid here. Here in this first clip, we can see how far away from his body he's holding the wand as he's spraying. You want to get up nice and close to the letters as you go. And in this second one, you can see as he reaches, the wand comes up off the ground more and causes a wider spray angle.